Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Class 8, we have completed chapter number 1, matter. So complete all your work in your copies, exercises in your books, and start learning it for your revision test. Now this is chapter number 2, measurement. So in chapter 1, you have learned that anything that occupies space and has mass is called matter. So every substance has a certain mass and volume, and the mass and volume, they are related to each other. That is, if the mass increases, the volume also increases. Now equal volumes of different substances have different masses. What does this mean? Let's take one example. Suppose there is 1 glass of water. So the mass of 1 glass of water is more than the mass of equal volume of kerosene. Means if there is 1 glass of water and 1 glass of kerosene, their masses are different. The mass of water is more than the mass of kerosene, no matter their volumes are equal. And what is the reason behind that? The reason is that the molecules in water are more densely packed. That is, water is heavier than kerosene. Kerosene is lighter than water, and water is heavier than kerosene, because this is all of the molecular arrangement. Molecules in water are more densely packed in comparison to kerosene. Now next is equal masses of different substances have different volumes. Here masses are equal, but volumes are different for different substances. Now what does that mean? Let's take one example. Suppose the volume of common salt is much larger than the volume of an equal mass of an iron weight. So volume is the space occupied by the object. So the volume of common salt is more than the volume of iron weight, no matter both are having equal masses. So equal masses of different substances have different volumes. Now let's see what is mass. Mass is the amount of matter an object contains. So amount of matter that is contained by an object is called its mass. Mass is measured in gram, kilogram, etc. Now what is volume? Volume is the space occupied by an object. So as we have learnt in matter that anything that has mass and that occupies space is called matter. So here mass is the amount of matter contained in an object, and volume is the space occupied by an object. As we know that matter is made up of very small particles which are called atoms or molecules, and there is a difference in the molecular arrangement of different states of matter, solid, liquid and gases. We know that in solids molecules are very closely packed. In case of liquids they are less closely packed than solids, and in case of gases they are very loosely packed. So density depends on the molecular arrangement. How closely packed are the particles or the molecules of that substance. So density refers to how closely packed are the molecules or particles, and it is the mass per unit volume of a substance, or D equals to M upon V. So if they are very closely packed, then the substance is more dense, and if they are very loosely packed, the substance is less dense. So in SI system the unit of density is kg per cubic meter, and in CGS system the unit of density is gram per cubic centimeter. Now how to find out the mass of a regular solid? Now what are regular solids? They are cube, cuboid, cylinder, cone, sphere. These are all regular solids. So to find out the mass of a regular solid, we use a beam balance, and to find out the volume we use the formulas. So here are some formulas like You can find out the volume of a cube using this formula, side into side into side, or side cube, and of cuboid you can find out the volume by multiplying length, breadth and height. Now how to find out the density of irregular solids. Irregular solids are the solids which do not have a regular shape, like stone, irregular shape. So density of irregular solids can be measured by measuring the mass and volume, and mass can be measured by using a beam balance. Volume of the irregular solid can be measured by measuring the volume of liquid displaced by the irregular solid when it is immersed completely in the liquid. So the irregular solid is immersed in the liquid completely, and its volume is equal to the volume of the liquid displaced by it. Now density of irregular solid can also be measured by using a Eureka can, and a Eureka can is a glass or metal beaker with a spout on its one side. If the solid is lighter than water, for example a cork, its density can be measured by displacement method. So if any irregular solid is lighter than water, like a cork, then its density can be measured by the displacement method. Now how to measure the density of a liquid? We can measure the density of a liquid by finding its mass and volume, as we know that density equals to mass upon volume. We can also measure the density of a liquid using a density bottle. Now what is a density bottle? It is a small glass bottle having a glass stopper with a narrow hole, and this bottle can store a fixed volume, and generally the volume is 25 milliliter or 50 milliliter. See, what is relative density? It is the ratio of density of a substance to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. And relative density can also be defined as the ratio of the mass of a substance to the mass of an equal volume of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Now we know that a substance can exist in 3 states, that is solid, liquid and gas. For example, the 3 states of water are ice. Ice is the solid state, and water it is the liquid state, and steam it is the gaseous state. According to kinetic theory of matter, matter is made up of very small particles which are called molecules, and there are spaces between the molecules. These are called intermolecular spaces. So these intermolecular spaces are very small in solids, that is, the molecules are very closely packed. While in liquids, the intermolecular spaces are more than solids. It means that the molecules are loosely packed in liquids as compared to solids. And in case of gases, the intermolecular spaces are much greater than solids and liquids. That is, the molecules are very loosely packed and they are free to move in any direction, and they can occupy all the space which is available to them. So we can say that a substance is highly dense in solid state because the molecules are tightly packed, and it is less than in liquids because the molecules are less closely packed, and least dense in gaseous state because the molecules are far away from each other. Intermolecular spaces are much greater than solids and liquids. Therefore, the density of a substance is maximum in its solid state, intermediate in its liquid state, and minimum in its gaseous state. But water is an exceptional case. It is different from most of the substances. It is less dense as a solid than as a liquid because its particles move apart slightly on freezing. Therefore, the density of ice is less than that of water. Its density is 0.917 gram per cubic centimeter, and that of water is 1 gram per cubic centimeter. So, ice is lighter than water. Now, some objects float while others sink. What is the reason behind that? Let's take one example. Suppose a piece of cork floats in water while a piece of iron sinks. Now what is the reason there? This is because of the difference in their densities. As we have just studied that density depends on the molecular arrangement. It depends on the intermolecular space. If the molecules are closely packed, tightly packed, then the density is maximum. If they are loosely packed, density is minimum. So here piece of cork is lighter. The density of cork is less than that of water. So it is lighter than water, hence it floats. Hence it floats, and the density of iron is more than that of the water. That is, iron is heavier than water, so it sinks. Now the object of density less than liquid float in the liquid, and the objects of density greater than liquid sink in the liquid. Now let's see what is principle of flotation. Every liquid exerts an upward force on the objects immersed in it, and this upward force is called buoyant force. Whenever any object is immersed in a liquid, what happens? The liquid exerts an upward force on that object. So this upward force is called buoyant force. And whenever an object is immersed in a liquid, there are two forces acting on it. These two forces are the buoyant force and the weight of the object. The buoyant force is vertically upward in direction, and weight of the object is vertically downward in direction. So these two forces are acting on the object when it is immersed in a liquid. One is the buoyant force, another is the weight of the object. And buoyant force acts vertically upward, and weight of the object acts vertically downward. And the buoyant force is equal to the weight of the liquid displaced by the immersed part of the object.